True story. I wish it wasn't. I just got back from Belk. This Christmas, I decided to treat myself to a new robe. And Belk had a nice ad, so I said, I have to go try it on, though, because you can't tell anything from an ad. So I went over there and looked, and finally I found the display. But everyone, they were in these square packages, each one, and they're wrapped with ribbon and a bow, and these big plastic tabs shot through. So you can't try one on. I mean, what you have to do, is you have to buy it and then cut the plastic tabs to be able to take it out of the package and try it on and see if you even like it. No, that wasn't going to work for me. So I kept looking. I said, surely there's a... And then I found it. There was a mannequin wearing my robe. So I said, problem solved. I know what I must do. So I kind of sidled over there real carefully, and she's on a pedestal about a foot off the floor. So I reached up and untied her belt, her sash, and the robe didn't budge. And I said, okay. So I kept going, and there was another sash inside, and I did, and it kind of loosened. I said, all I gotta do is just, I gotta reach up and just slide it down her shoulders very carefully, and I'll be able. And so I slide it down, and then wham! Her arm fell off, and it crashed to the ground. So it took the robe with it. So now I'm standing on a pedestal, nose to nose, with a naked, one-armed mannequin. And said, oh Lord. So I got to fix this. So I got down and I wrestled with the robe, and I was able to retrieve the severed arm. And so I said, well, I got to reattach it. So I held it up, and it had a bolt. The shoulder of the arm had a bolt sticking out, and then the mannequin shoulder had a slot. So I said, okay, this is what I got to do. So I'm up there waving it around, trying to reattach it, and all of a sudden, whap! It snatched it out of my hand. There was some kind of magnetic device, and it took it away from me. But it did reattach. It did reattach. So that was great. Unfortunately, it reattached in a different position, and now my mannequin is doing a Nazi salute. So I got back up, and I'm pulling and tugging on her arm, and it wouldn't budge. It wouldn't budge. So I said, okay, I can't leave her naked. So I grabbed the robe and the sleeve, and I said, well, I'm gonna thread it over that arm, which I did. And so now the robe is hanging from one arm. It looked terrible. So I said, okay, there's a way to fix it. So I grabbed it, and I said, I'll just wrap it around her shoulders, which I did. Got to this arm and realized there's no way I can get this arm in a sleeve. So I said, okay, I will just drape it. I will drape it fetchingly over her shoulder. And perhaps it will look like she has her arm in a sling or a cast, or this is perhaps the handicap model. So I did. And still, it didn't look good. So I got the belt and went around and tied it, and I made a big, beautiful bow. And I backed up and looked at my handiwork. And I said, this doesn't look too bad. And I took off. I got out of there. And I'm pretty sure that the only shopping left to me this season is going to be online. Merry Christmas.